Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Stefanowicz and I'm going to be doing my video reflection. Let's talk about our topic right off the bat. So we did social media and how it affects society. A very interesting topic, very broad. It can be talked about in different ways, but we chose to talk about the negatives and mainly the positives. So what are a lot of good things that advancing in social media has helped us today. So we talked about through businesses, how it makes it easier for us to communicate across the world into foreign countries, how much easier it is for me to, let's say, communicate with my cousins in Poland instantaneously. I can send them messages, they can send me messages back on like video. Or so there's a lot of good positive things we talked about social media, but then we also talked about the negatives about social media, about how it's kind of consuming our lives, and how it impacts us like psychologically. We talked about privacy issues, how people may have access to our stuff on our phones. And we dove a little deeper into all this kind of stuff, but we talk about various different topics about social media. So I recommend definitely checking it out. Things that were easy and challenging for me as I prepared the presentation is just making sure I looked presentable, or I had a good background behind me. So before that, I put myself against the wall, so I just had a blank background and it looked pretty good. I kind of just, I had a drink of water to clear my throat, make sure I was hydrated beforehand so I wasn't coughing or, had a raspy voice. I think, making small preparations can always help to reduce that kind of stuff. I also, another thing that I helped is I did a bit of research for about, 5 to 10 minutes before the presentation, just so I had more topics to talk about during the presentation. I think preparation is always key when it comes to doing your presentation. You shouldn't go into it cold turkey and not have any idea, what to talk about. Including a brief audience analysis. I was targeting, obviously my classmates and people who would be watching this video. If this video was to go more broad, I think people would also enjoy it. My whole goal is I like to have fun. So, I use a lot of hand gestures. I make a lot of faces when people make funny remarks, so you can see my real reaction. That's kind of what I go for as well. I kind of go for that natural feel instead of just sitting there, with like a straight face the whole time. I try to have fun with the debate. I try to, make it less stale, as you could say. So, one thing that I thought I did kind of poorly, maybe that I should work on for my next public speaking part. I think maybe I should talk a little more fluently. I tend to sometimes make a bit of pauses if I'm trying to think for the next thing I'm going to be talking about. So, but that's pretty normal as well. So obviously you can't just speak like a robot in a monotone voice. That's just how we are. We need to take small pauses to think about our next topic. Maybe I noticed I also kind of so Gifton was the main host. I also noticed that I think I took over. I was started halfway through. I noticed I was taking over kind of main host. I didn't mean to do it on purpose. I was kind of like, I was trying to just give out topics for the team, because there's like one or two parts through our debate where it kind of got quiet, and I was like, oh no, so I was like, I will help out, So whenever it kind of got dry throughout my debate, I would try to step in and try to bring topics, because I did the research beforehand, so I had a few ideas to talk about. So in case things got dry, I was ready for that. And then I guess that could be one good thing as well. So but I think overall, I didn't want to steal from Gifton's main host, so that's one thing. Like, if I'm not main host, I'm gonna halfway through. I started staying back more, and I started talking less. And I was like, I'm gonna stay out of this. I'm gonna let them get their screen time. So I didn't. One thing maybe I also do is like too much. Maybe the face gestures, maybe the hand gestures, there's maybe a little too much, maybe too distracting. So I need to find that balance of how to be professional but also have fun and make the debate more interesting. I'm kind of wondering like how I did, but one good thing I think I did is I think I knew my subject pretty well, so I was able to talk because I did the research. I knew what I was talking about. I had a lot to talk about. One thing is I also try to stimulate a lot of conversations, so I was trying to make our debate go more smoothly than to make sure it went smoothly. So these were good. Overall, I have to give 2 thumbs up to my team. I think we killed it. I think we did a really good job on our debate. Thank you guys for watching my video reflection. Hope you guys have a good day.